รอทีเดียวตอนจบ
ถ้าวันนี้ปิดแอร์เปิดหน้าต่างแทนได้ไหมวะ
ไปซะสาวน้อย
ไม่ลงเอาเลยเหรอ
มันเป็นหลายแผลยาวๆไม่ใหญ่แต่มันยาวกินของเผ็ดๆไม่ได้อีกนะไม่งั้นแสบแต่ว่าแกต้องทำเป็นดาวน์โหลดมันจะมีเพลงใครนะแน่ใจกันเดียวทีมเราก็บางทีก็ไม่ค่อยหลักคนดีมุกแท็กเดียวนี้แล้วก็ตอนเป็นการเป็นรายการใหม่ให้จะพิมพ์เนี่ยมีคนหลอกมีคนไลน์จะเป็นอะไรได้ใช่พ่อแม่เราก็เห็นเราเคยเราด้วยกันเราไม่ได้เวลาที่ไม่แต่เราไม่ได้อะไรไม่ได้อะไรถึงแม้จะรีวิวแต่ดีกว่าเราไม่ได้ว่าไม่ได้อะไรทุกวันแล้วก็ว่าแม่อะไรเห็นร้านก็เด้งขึ้นอร่อย
เรียนกันต่อดีกว่าเดี๋ยวเวลามันไม่พอเนื้อหามันจะอัดแน่เราจะบิดผ่านไปเยอะมันเยอะเหลือเกินจะอ่ะต่อกันดีกว่า
ไม่ใช่เราจุกมา
ค่ะแล้วGreat. So we finished the training part, of human resource development. So we'll look at the next stage. Actually, we have like a more general, broader with human resource development. So that's the talent management and the development of talent, or development of human resource. So first of all, let's see, in terms of the definitions, or the scope of the term talent management. So what is talent management? By the way, it sounds so like someone in entertainment business, right? We talk about like actually talent management is a real like proper job in entertainment like firms. So if you look at like Grammys, and all that, the person who responsible for what we call like talent management are in fact the managers, like the artist managers is the actual term of talent management. But here, when we look at talent management, this in fact are like a standard, the kind of like talent management in business in general. So what is talent management? By the way, this is too small for like the people in the back, maybe. I think it looks so small. Well, hopefully it's just this one. For some reason, when I type in, I do type too much stuff in one page, So what is the definition of talent management? Because talent management concerned about, enhancing the attraction, development and retention of human resource. You see that right now, when people thinking about where they want to go to work or where they want to work, it's kind of normal, maybe when you guys graduate, you think about, well, where should I start working? Your concept of where should I start working might not be something that you feel, okay, this is an organization that you will be working for like, let's say, the rest of your life. For most of you let's think about going to work after graduation. You might have something in mind along the way of, maybe after 2 or 3 years of working, you might want to go to pursue your master degrees, right? So the objective of your work in the first 2 or 3 years might be, well, maybe getting some experience, that allow you to apply for business school, or maybe just get some experience so that you know what you like and what you don't like, So the view of your work, and how long you would like to stay in a firm differ from what it would otherwise be when, let's say your parents were like teenagers, So way back, people think about working in the same place for the rest of their life, or at least they don't think about changing job that much, tend to be somewhat more conventional, But right now, not so much anymore. So the new direction of HR, but when they say new, it's not really like super new. In fact, like the changing direction of HR is that we want to make people wanting to stay with the firms. How are you going to make people wanting to stay with the firm? How can you make people develop their skills, develop their capabilities, and stay with the firm? So that's the idea of talent management, the concept of talent management. So the talent management is an important part of strategic HR planning. When you look at HR and see what is the role of HR in response to the organizational goals, the objective of the firms, you might see that, well, HR is an important part, like a strategic HR is important because you have these situations or these problems. The first one is, well, I think the talent management is important because it helps create and maintain organizational culture that value individuals, So you look at people, you look at like a person, not just about like what they can contribute to the firm, but like that person themselves. So they are important, Your worker is important, not like they're important because they do work for you. If they're important only because they do work for you, you might feel like, okay, fine. As long as you can find someone else that can do the same job, you're perfectly okay, right? But that's kind of a little bit disheartened or discouraging in terms of the culture of the firm. To be thinking of a worker as like someone who can do or accomplish a job, should be something more than that. Another reason why, why the talent management is important as a part of HR strategies, the strategic planning of HR, is that it helps identify the future needs of the firm, identify the future needs of the organizations, and see how you can develop individuals, how can you develop one workers or workers that you have to fill those needs inside the organizations, right? So you see the goal of organization, you see the future prospect of organizations, you might have to identify, well, I mean, if we want to achieve this, we want to maybe open up our branch office in the capital city in ASEAN, you want to expand the business to the neighboring countries, that's kind of the goal of the organization, right? So how can you use human resource, right? How can you use your employee? How can you fit your employee into helping you achieving this goal? So you might need to, like prepare the employees, to be able to maybe work abroad, work in our neighbor countries, maybe you need to increase the number of workforce, you need to train them so that they can be a part of like important workers, in the new branches, in our neighbor countries, right? So you need to identify the needs of the firm and see how you can develop workers in the firm to help, the firm achieving all those needs and all those goals. And then you might want to develop a pool, actually. I mistyped it. It's supposed to be a pool of, not a pool of. That's a bit funny. A pool of talented people, You don't want to like have just one, right? You want to have like several of them, that you can fit into the future jobs, The firm might be expanding, or the firm might stay the same, but you would also have someone retire, right? When you have retirement, you want to fill in the vacant positions, or you want to fill in like the managerial positions, you have all these capable people in the firm, to fill in those positions, So that's the part of talent management, But talent management will lead to firm being able to do that. And then you might want, the talent management will help you estimate ways to conduct and manage HR activities, to support the development of the workforce, So you might want to think about, how you can do HR activities. What are the activities? What are the things that HR can do that will support the development of workforce, the strengthening of the workforce capabilities, their skills, improve their attitudes, preparing them for like a future jobs, all that. So there are some reasons, why talent management is going to be important. For example, you have the baby boomer retirement. In Thailand, not that apparent, but we do see something similar to this. We have the older generations, people like there's 50 right now. Baby boomers are the ones that were born after, let's say, World War II, right? So the one that born in 1940 each. So they would retire by the time of, let's say, depend, 60, 65, so retire in early 2000, So if you have people who retire in these decades, they are baby boomers, And that is in fact a huge gap in workforce missing, because baby boomer mean that during that time, in the 40s, in the 50s, there are a lot of population being born during that time. We have a huge surge of population, And when they move into workforce, that's kind of a huge number of workforce in that area, right? And now we are moving toward what we call an aging society, because all these baby boomer change to elderly, So when they become elders, then some of them stop working, or they technically force out of work because they are in the retirement age, So you have a lot of missing workforce that you need to, supply by the current workforce. You need to be able to train the current workforce to fill in the positions, of the living workers coming from the baby boomer age. And then you have the shortage of skilled workers. in pretty much any area. You know, like in Thailand, it's a lot of shortage in skilled workers in technical works, right? The kind of the technician jobs, you know, that we don't really have a lot of workers in that area. You know, there was just like let's say like people in manufacturing, you know, or people who are actually we do need a lot more people right now when our country moving more toward service industry. You know, we might need to get more workers who can, like, you know, speak different language, like multiple language, not just, you know, Thai and English. You know, like now might be Chinese, you know, to supply in the tourism industry, right? And then we have like this missing workforce, and we don't really have a lot of like technicians, you know, people who graduate from vocational schools, or people who do like job in factories, not like a low skill job, you know, even like a high skill jobs, because our engineering graduates doesn't like to work in the factory anymore. Now everyone want to have their own business, usually meaning that they want to sell something online, you know, meaning that they move to service industry, right? Distribution, you know. So like everyone want to sell something online, being like a distributor of some stuff, or you want to, let's say, open a coffee shop, like lots of people do, you know. So they move from manufacturing industry to service industry, right? So you have change in the preference of workers, like new workers wanting to go into specific industry, whereas you still have the same positions, you know, opening in the old industries, you know, in manufacturing, right? I mean, because firms still there. So how are you going to fill in all those positions? You know, you have shortage in the skilled workers, pretty much like in all level, right? So you can use the talent management, you know, to help train the worker, you know, prepare the worker for those positions. And then you have the global competition for human resource talent. I guess, like, particularly for our programs, might be more apparent, because when you graduate, you actually can think about whether or not you want to apply for a job in Singapore. Actually, you can. I mean, you can if you want to. You know, like, you just need to prepare a little bit more than just like 3 months. Prepare ahead of time. You can, right? And then you can apply to job in other places too, you know, maybe in like Myanmar, we have like graduates who go to like Myanmar, so, and then like other countries around us, right? Or you can go and find jobs some other places. Maybe you do that by studying master degree first in that particular countries, and you work and try to increase your competitiveness, you know, making you like appealing candidates, you know, for job positions, you know, in various countries. You know. So you can work pretty much anywhere you like. Well, as long as you get job offer, I guess, you know. But you can work in more places than before. So there are a lot of options for the capable workers, right? So now firms also need to compete for this worker too, you know, because the worker have more choice. I mean, it's true that basically you can source, you can find source of worker from like around the world. That is true. But then at the same time, the worker can pick jobs from like at more places too. So you have more competitions, you know, for workers. And then you have the development in technology that help with the talent management process, you know, the documentation of people, cover the career development, you know, the documentation of the change in their skills, you know, their portfolios, you know, all of this can be integrated into the human resource management, you know, so you know more about the worker, you can keep track on the skills, the capability of the workers. So with all this information, hopefully you'll be able to manage the worker better. You know. So if you look at the nature of talent management, you know, the nature of talent management, as I mentioned to you before, you know, it's kind of like the bridge, like this. Yeah. So this is what we see before, you know. So the whole talent management includes lots of things. It's kind of like a path of the person being inside a firm. So when you work, like when a worker work in the firm, these are the part that they might want to, like improve. They want to grow. They want to increase their capabilities. And that is done through training, career planning, HR development, succession planning, and all of this is going to be related to the performance management. And these are kind of like the period when like workers working in the firms, right? And then when they leave and all that stuff, that would be like on this part. That's when they enter into the workforce, right? So when you look at the nature of talent management, it's include the activities such as training, career planning, HR development, succession planning, and performance management. So the talent management activities, all these activities provide the means, to ensure that individuals who have been recruited and selected, in other words, the workers, or employees, in the firm, are retained, so they stay with the firm, as a well-performing human resource. That's another weird word. As in they should stay in the firm and perform in the aspect that that they should, or at least that the firm hope for, So, in other words, being quality workers, of the firm. The talent management, may target jobs, because talent management is like you try to develop the workers, develop like human resource to fill in the position and make sure that you have enough people to fill in the positions, right? As in like you develop the workers and they grow with the firms and all that stuff, So there are actually like two directions. You can target the job. So you look at the jobs and you see that there's a need to fill in the position right here, which may be coming from inside the firm itself, So if you want to develop workers inside the firm to meet the requirement for a specific job, you may looking at like job targeting, do talent management in the job targeting aspect. In that case, for example, you have management position, you have like people in manager positions, or CEO, vice president, that kind of stuff. So you have this position. You might want to promote someone from inside, but it's not like you can promote anyone, right? You might need to promote someone who's like capable, grow inside the firm itself, like develop their skills, have experience, and gain all these managerial related skills, interpersonal skills, all that stuff. Something that is important for managerial positions, So you might have that in mind. If you have that in mind, the talent management would be, so we would need to train a pool of possible applicants, let's say, not applicants, like possible workforce, to be able to fill in the managerial positions, right? So you might train like people to, selected people to train for like managerial skills, select people to train for decision making skills, you select people to, like train in, to get to know like different workings, in the organizations and all that, right? So, for example, if you have heard, the government have a fast track, actually, for people in managing positions. Might sound funny because it's a government, but they do. Actually, they will accept applicants, who are currently kind of like government officers, like people who work, civil servants, right? People who work in the government that interested in management positions, So they select people from all of the all of the departments and all of the ministries, but it's like a specific few number of people. And when they select these people, they will train them, in all these management skills. They'll get into like these small groups, get to know each other, and then they learn about all the working of the government, and all that. And these people are put on the fast track for promotion. So these are examples. Okay, fine. Government knows that they will need people in managerial positions. So they select people and train them to be capable of this particular job. So that's kind of like a job-oriented, job-targeted kind of talent management. On the other hand, you can have what we call a high potential individuals. So that like some people are, let's say, more capable than the others. If you know that some people are more capable than the others, you might want to focus on training these people. Like providing them with skills. In that case, when you provide them with skills, you might be able to put them into jobs, in the organization. So in that case, you might like ask people to apply for having these like special training things, and you train these people. So if you train these people and when you want to find someone to fill in some other position, you know that these people are capable of doing such thing because they are trained already for that particular positions. So let's say if you have like if you look at the bank, investment bank actually, there is some investment bank will offer like trainings, kind of like 6 months, 3 months trainings, for the selected applicants, right? So you apply and they select you and they train you, and you get to learn about like all these various things, in the department, like in like various department of the bank. And then when you complete the trainings, that's when they start like putting you in different departments, different positions. So in that case, they see that you have a high potential, and they train you and they develop you in order to be a better workforce, than before. So if it's more like individual oriented, it's like improving individual skills, individual capabilities, to maybe like fill in all those like important positions in the organization. But you don't focus more on the position itself. Your target is not like fill